Jalen Milroe, winner or loser, Jalen Milroe specifically falling to the Seattle Seahawks and then knowing that we all thought that, I won't say falling, being drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. So he goes to Klint Kubiak's offense, and we all know that the way to get something special out of Jalen Milroe is going somewhere that will slowly develop him and help him become a passer. C-Rob, Jalen Milroe in this situation, winner or loser?
I love him going to Klint Kubiak. I definitely love him going to Klint Kubiak. What I don't love is, like, how long is Klint Kubiak going to be there? Like, is he going to be gone? Like, he's on head coaching lists. So it's like, you know, how much development is Milroe ultimately going to get? If he gets a couple years with Klint Kubiak, that's going to be fantastic. I hope that Sam Darnold is good enough to keep Milroe, you know, people from wanting to cry out for Milroe. That said, I guarantee he's going to be on the field in 2025 in running packages. There's no doubt in my mind, because it's too high level an asset right now. And why would you squander it by not using it immediately? So I don't know if it's going to be like a Taysom Hill, like on steroids, you know, package where you just
like
got
that,
a guy
doesn't
who's, yeah, kind of. I mean, but his running ability is so unbelievably elite. And I think if you're Klint Kubiak, you're like, we just got to use him as a weapon now, and we'll work, you know, with the intermediate passing game. We'll refine that over time. It was just good to see him land in the hands of someone who definitely knows what they're doing when it comes to the quarterback position, and then also have a starter in front of him who, for all intents and purposes, as long as he doesn't fall off a cliff, Darnold should be able to make Milroe's life easier by, you know, not being the Jets Sam Darnold or the Panthers Sam Darnold, and everybody's all of a sudden saying, get the Alabama kid in there.
Yeah, I thought it was a perfect pick, because when you're thinking about Jalen Milroe, it's like, he's got to go to a team that's going to be patient. Well, he goes to a team that they're not looking to replace Sam Darnold, but yet Sam Darnold's contract is such that in a couple of years, you might be thinking about the next guy. That Jalen Milroe should kind of be ready by then. And like you said, the Seahawks can still use him in different packages in the meantime, like get him on the field, have him make an impact. But I think your return on investment for the 92nd overall pick could be really, really good if Jalen Milroe puts into work, develops his game, gets better at some of the aspects he needs to get better at, because the skill set's all there. He has as much physical skill as anybody in this draft as far as quarterbacks go. And so I really like this. But I like the Seahawks draft overall. Like, Zabel in the first round really adds to their offensive line. Eamon Worry is a safety in the second round. He's going to be really good for their defense. The tight end Arroyo out of Miami. I like a lot of the picks they made, but especially like the Milroe pick. It was very smart to say, this is an investment for the future. It's going to pay off for us at some point.
They add athletes, man. I will say that. Like, that is, I was like, man, they love athletes. Like, these are super high level athletes. Let me ask you something real quick, because I wondered this. Knowing what Sean Payton was able to get out of Taysom Hill, right? And if you looked at that kind of a player, knowing the production, the different positions he could play, what he brought to your team, if you could take that player and go, I'll give you this guy, but he's a much better runner, and he's a better passer too, and has a better arm, what would you spend on that guy? I was kind of confused. I'm like, I was still surprised he went at the end of the third, because I'm like, just sheerly as a weapon alone. And like, let's say you're staring at him and you're going, we can get him 10, you know, offensive snaps, and we think he's going to do some serious damage with those 10 snaps. Isn't that worth more than the end of the third round?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not like a Jordan Love situation where Jordan Love's just sitting on a bench for 3 years. Like,
not at all.
This is a guy who can give, he can give you some juice right away. And so, I agree with you. He should have gone higher than 92nd. I definitely
look. I was sitting on the couch the whole time in that third round, closer and closer we got. I was thinking, man, just give this guy to Chip Kelly. Like, I just would have loved to have seen, like, as a fan of the team, I would have loved to have seen. Speaking of which, what do you know? We ran out of time before the guys could tell you why the Raiders had the best draft they've ever seen in the history of all football.